All right, let's dive into this. Derren Brown and his book, Tricks of the Mind.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
So we're going to be exploring a lot here. Illusion, suggestion, memory, perception. Really looking at the psychology behind it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you think about Derren Brown, you think about, I think, a master illusionist, psychological manipulator.
Right.
But it goes deeper than that, right? It's not just entertainment. It really gets you thinking about, like, how much control do we actually have over our own mind?
Yeah. That's really the big question, isn't it? Like, how much are we really in control? We think we are.
Right.
But then Derren Brown comes along and he's like, nope,
Yeah.
not as much as you think.
Yeah, and he kind of proves it over and over again.
Right.
And it's unsettling, but it's also fascinating.
Very much so.
He started with close-up magic, but then mind control hit the scene. And I'm curious, what do you think it was about that show that really captivated audiences?
Well, I think it was the fact that it was so raw and pushed the boundaries. And, he wasn't just performing tricks. He was seemingly controlling people's minds,
Yeah.
And people were like, hold on a second, is this real? And it made them question, the whole nature of free will. I mean, you remember the Russian roulette stunt?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that sparked outrage, but it also got people thinking, what are the limits of influence?
Yeah. Like, it really made you stop and think, like, how easily we can be manipulated.
Yeah.
Even by something as simple as suggestion.
Absolutely. Yeah. Even just a simple suggestion can have a huge impact on us.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of manipulation, let's break down a classic.
Yep.
Misdirection.
Right.
Derren Brown, in his book, he uses this simple coin trick to illustrate this. And he talks about the importance of, like, blowing on your hand as part of the act. And it's like something so trivial, right? But he's like, it actually enhances the illusion. It's crazy.
It sounds almost ridiculous, but it works.
It does.
Why?
Because our brains are always trying to make sense of the world around us, right? Yeah.
So when we see something unexpected, like a coin vanishing, our minds try to scramble for an explanation.
Right.
And so the blowing on the hand, that acts as this distraction.
Oh, okay.
It draws our attention away from the actual sleight of hand.
Oh, I see.
And then we tend to kind of exaggerate, that action when we're trying to explain how the trick was done.
So we essentially fool ourselves by focusing on the wrong details.
Yeah. It's like we create our own illusion in a way.
And this goes beyond magic tricks, right?
Oh, it's okay.
This is life.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Think about advertising.
Yeah.
They're masters of misdirection, right?
Yeah.
They use bright colors, catchy jingles, attractive models,
right,
all to distract us from what they're really selling.
Oh, interesting.
So we end up buying things we don't need because we're focused on the wrong things.
So misdirection isn't just about what we see. It's about what we choose to focus on.
Exactly.
Our attention is being directed.
Somewhere. And this ties into the power of suggestion. Derren Brown, he uses this example of the Ouija board.
Oh, yeah.
To show how belief and unconscious movements, it can create these seemingly supernatural phenomena.
Right. And it's not even just the Ouija board, right? Think about table tipping, where a group of people, they believe they're moving a table with their minds. Right. But in reality, it's just like their slight unconscious pushes that are actually moving the table. Right.
It's like we can believe something so strongly that it manifests physically.
It's wild, isn't it?
It is wild. It's really wild. It's almost like our minds are so powerful that they can influence our physical actions without us even realizing it.
And that's the ideomotor effect in action.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
Right. So Derren Brown, he demonstrates this with the pendulum experiment, which is so simple, but so effective. You just hold a weight on a string, you focus your mind on it swinging in a certain direction, and more often than not, it'll actually start moving that way.
It does. It's weird. Are you telling me that our thoughts can actually cause physical changes in the world?
Not quite in the supernatural sense.
Right.
But the ideomotor effect, it's all about these subtle unconscious muscle movements that are influenced by our thoughts. Okay. So if you really believe that the pendulum will swing left, your hand's going to make these tiny imperceptible movements that actually make it swing that way.
I see.
It's not magic, but it's still pretty incredible.
It is. And this same principle applies to muscle reading, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Derren Brown uses muscle reading to seemingly read minds.
Right.
But what he's really doing is picking up on those tiny involuntary muscle cues. You know,
Yeah.
those little tells that people give away. Like, imagine playing a game where you have to find a hidden object just by holding someone's wrist
Oh, wow.
and focusing on their muscle tension. You'd be surprised how easy it is to pick up on those subtle cues.
That's wild.
Yeah, it really is. And it makes you realize how much we're communicating without even realizing it.
Yeah.
Our bodies are constantly giving away information,
Mm-hmm.
even when we think we're being perfectly still.
Yeah, it really is. It's a secret language we don't even know we're speaking.
That's a great way to put it. It's a secret language of the body.
Yeah. And sometimes, I guess, other people know it better than we do.
Especially people like Derren Brown, right?
That's right. That's right.
He's made a career out of understanding and exploiting those subtle cues.
Exactly. So even when we think we're in control,
Mm-hmm.
we might be giving away more than we realize
Absolutely.
through these micro movements.
Exactly. It's a bit unsettling, isn't it?
It is a little bit. It's like it really makes you think about like how much of our behavior is truly conscious and how much is influenced by these unconscious factors.
That's the big question.
It is.
And it's a question that Derren Brown keeps coming back to.
Yeah.
All of his work. He wants us to question our assumptions about free will, about control,
Right.
about the nature of reality itself.
He does. And it's uncomfortable, but it's also like it's necessary, I think,
Absolutely.
to kind of push those boundaries and to really examine what it means to be human.
Couldn't agree more.
Right. And what it means to be in control or to think we're in control.
Right, or to be controlled.
Or to be controlled, exactly.
Yeah, it's a fascinating area to explore.
It is fascinating. And Derren Brown, he does it so well.
He does. He's a master.
He really does. He's a master of his craft.
Mm.
And I think that's why he's been so successful.
I think so, too. He's entertaining, but he also makes us think.
He does.
You
He
know?
does. And I think that's a rare combination.
Very rare.
And that's why I'm excited to keep diving into this book with you and really kind of unpack all these different ideas and see what we can learn about ourselves in the process.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun journey.
It is. It is. And maybe a little bit unsettling at times.
Oh, definitely. But that's part of the fun, right?
That is part of the fun. All right. Well, let's
keep going.
keep going. This is a good one.
It is.
So stay with us.
We'll be right back after a quick break.
All right.
Don't go away.
Okay.
We've got more Derren Brown to delve into.
I do.
And trust me, you don't want to miss it.
You do not want to miss it.
It's going to get even more mind-bending from here on out.
It is. All right. See you in a bit.
See you soon.
Makes you wonder, like, what else are our bodies revealing without us knowing?
Oh, yeah.
Like all these little giveaways.
Yeah, subconsciously. It's
Yeah.
fascinating.
It really is. Speaking of hidden depths, Derren Brown dedicates like a good chunk of his book
Yeah.
to memory techniques.
Right.
And debunking the myth of photographic memory, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people think that. Like,
Yeah.
photographic memory is this thing that you're just born with.
Right.
And if you don't have it, you're just out of luck.
Right. You're stuck.
But he's like, no.
Yeah, he kind of dispels that myth.
Yeah, he does.
And he's like, look, you can train your memory.
Yeah.
You can improve it dramatically.
And what's interesting is he even says that he kind of struggled with that, like, that concept of photographic memory.
Yeah.
Like, initially he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I wish I had that.
Why can't I just, like, remember everything perfectly?
Oh, am I not one of those people?
Right, exactly.
But he realized through practice and through experimentation that, like, there are these specific techniques
yeah,
anyone can use.
anyone can use. Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
It is the beauty of it, yeah.
He's not saying you need some, like, special gift.
Right.
It's just about learning the techniques and practicing them.
And he breaks it down really well.
He does, yeah.
He talks about the linking system.
Oh, yeah.
Where you create these, like, vivid and memorable connections
Uh-huh.
between items that you want to remember. And he gives this example.
Oh, I love his examples.
I do too. They're so out there.
They're so outlandish.
He was talking about, like, to remember a legal case called Pharmaceuticals Society of Great Britain versus Boots Cash Chemists. He pictures this, like, businessman in a suit
Okay.
standing in a Boots pharmacy trying to pay for socks with a 50-pound note.
Right.
Like, so random.
So bizarre, but like you said,
It sticks in your mind.
it's thick. And then you see a Boots pharmacy and you're like, oh yeah, Pharmaceutical Society of Great Britain versus Boots Cash Chemists.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like the absurdity of it makes it memorable.
Right. The more absurd, the better.
Yeah. He also introduces the loci system or the memory palace technique,
Oh, that's a classic.
which is so fascinating because it really taps into our spatial memory. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how much we can remember based on location.
Yeah, like think about like your daily commute or like a walk through your neighborhood.
Right.
Like you can remember all these little details, like each landmark, each shop, each tree. It becomes like a locus where you can store a piece's information.
Yeah, like each location becomes a hook for a memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he talks about how he's used like theaters and parks and historical buildings
Oh, wow.
as like his memory palaces.
That's cool.
And it's like you're attaching that information that you want to remember to a specific location within that mental space.
It's like you're creating a mental map of information.
Yeah.
And you can just walk through it and retrieve whatever you need.
Yeah. Like imagine you need to remember to buy milk.
Okay.
You could picture like a giant carton of milk boosting through the roof of your local library.
Right.
Like the more vivid and unusual the image, the more likely you are to remember it.
Yeah. It's got to be something that really stands out in your mind, something that's going to grab your attention.
Exactly. And then there's the PEG system.
Oh, yeah, the PEG system.
That's a good one.
For remembering numbers.
He uses this to memorize football scores.
Yeah, that's a good application for it.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah.
It's, with the PEG system, you assign, like, a memorable image to each number.
Yeah, like a visual representation of each number.
Yeah, so, like, 1 could be a candle, 2 a swan, 3 a hammock, and so on.
Got it.
And then you link those PEG images to the information you want to remember.
Right.
So to remember a score of 3-1, you might visualize a hammock tangled up with a candle.
Okay. I can see that.
It sounds crazy.
It does sound crazy.
But it works.
But it works.
And it's because you're creating these really strong visual connections.
Right. It's all about tapping into the power of visual imagery.
Yeah, because our brains, they're wired for visuals.
Yeah. We remember images much better than abstract concepts.
Yeah, and it's not just about remembering lists or facts, right?
No, not at all.
These techniques can be applied to
so many things. Learning languages, memorizing speeches, even mastering complex concepts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like if you're studying for an exam, you could create a memory palace for each subject.
Right.
And populate it with key concepts and formulas.
Oh, wow.
Or, if you're giving a presentation, you could use the linking system to connect each point in your speech to a memorable image or story.
It's like we're hacking our own brains.
We are. We're taking advantage of how our brains are wired. To learn and remember information.
To optimize our learning.
Exactly. We're optimizing our mental capacity.
Yeah. And I love that Derren Brown makes it so accessible.
Yeah.
He doesn't present it as this super complicated thing.
Right. It's not rocket science.
He's just no, these are simple techniques.
Anyone can do this.
Anyone can do this.
You just got to put in the effort and be consistent.
And I think that's really empowering.
Very empowering.
To know that we have that control over our own minds. Yeah. We're not just passive recipients of information.
Right.
We can actively shape how we learn and remember.
We can, yeah.
And that's a powerful thing.
It is powerful. And speaking of mastering complex concepts, let's move on to another fascinating aspect of Derren Brown's work. Reading people.
This is good.
So good.
Yeah, I love this.
He goes beyond simple muscle reading and really delves into the art of interpreting facial expressions and body language.
Yeah, it's like he's giving us a crash course in nonverbal communication.
Yeah. He's like, look, our bodies are constantly communicating.
Whether we realize it or not.
Whether we realize it or not.
And if you know what to look for,
yeah,
you can unlock a whole new level of understanding.
Yeah. And he emphasizes the importance of observing clusters of behaviors rather than isolated signals.
Yeah. It's not just about noticing that someone's crossing their arms.
Right.
It's about looking at the whole picture.
Yeah.
Their facial expression, their posture, their tone of voice.
All of these things work together to tell a story.
Yeah.
And if you can learn to read that story, you can gain some really valuable insights.
You can. And he gives the example, crossed arms might not mean much on their own.
Right.
But if they're accompanied by a frown, averted gaze, and a tense jawline, then it could indicate defensiveness or discomfort.
Right, exactly. It's the combination of cues that really gives you the full picture.
Exactly. And when it comes to spotting lies, Brown, he debunks some common myths.
Oh, yeah, like the whole eye contact thing.
Eye contact thing, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, breaking eye contact doesn't always mean someone's lying.
Right.
In fact, some liars deliberately maintain eye contact.
To appear more trustworthy.
Exactly.
It's so interesting.
Yeah. It's counterintuitive.
Yeah, he's like, instead, look for subtle cues, like micro-expressions.
Oh, yeah. Those fleeting facial expressions.
Yeah, those are the ones that betray those true emotions.
They're hard to catch. Yeah, they are.
But if you know what to look for,
Mm-hmm.
you can spot them.
Yeah.
And they can tell you a lot.
Like a little flicker of sadness.
Yeah, or anger, or fear.
Yeah, when someone's saying something happy.
Right.
It's like, okay.
Something's not right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or an increase in blinking,
Oh, yeah, that's another good one.
which can be a sign of cognitive load
Mm-hmm.
when someone's like trying to fabricate a story.
Yeah, their brain's working overtime,
Yeah.
trying to keep all the details straight.
Right. So their blink rate goes up.
Exactly.
He also mentions that liars tend to use fewer first-person pronouns,
Oh, really?
like I or me.
Interesting.
When recounting their stories,
Mm.
it's like they're like distancing themselves
Okay.
from their own lies.
Yeah, like they're not fully owning the narrative
Right.
because they know it's not true.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
And they might also provide like vague or superficial details,
Oh, yes.
skipping over key points,
Mm.
or repeating the same information over and over again.
Right. Like they're trying to fill the space,
Yeah.
but not actually saying anything meaningful.
Right.
It's like they're stalling for time,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what to say next.
It's like they're like avoiding
Yeah.
getting caught in their own
Web of deceit.
web of a deceit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
So fascinating. So it's not just about what people say.
Right.
It's how they say it
Mm-hmm.
and how their body language supports or contradicts their words.
Yeah. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Got to put all the pieces together
You have to.
to
Yeah.
get the full picture.
It's like a detective.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
like, okay, what are the clues here?
What are they telling me?
What are they telling me?
Yeah, and sometimes the clues are in what they're not saying.
Or in how they're not saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about being observant,
Yeah.
paying attention,
Mm-hmm.
and being aware of those subtle cues.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Now, you might be thinking, is this all a bit manipulative?
Oh, yeah, that's a valid point.
Right.
Learning how to read people, spot lies,
Mm-hmm.
influence their behavior.
Yeah, it's a valid concern.
Yeah.
But I think the key is intention, right?
Absolutely.
Like just because we understand these techniques
Yeah.
doesn't mean we have to use them
Yeah.
for nefarious purposes.
No, not at all. It's like any tool.
Right.
It can be used for good or for bad.
Yeah,
It all depends on the person wielding it.
it does. Knowledge is power.
It is.
And with that power comes responsibility.
Absolutely.
I think that's the key takeaway here.
Yeah, I think so too.
So we can choose to use these insights
Mm-hmm.
to improve our communication,
Yeah.
build stronger relationships,
Right.
and kind of navigate
Yeah.
the complexities of human interaction
Yeah.
with greater awareness and empathy.
Yeah. It's about understanding people better
Yeah.
and using that understanding to connect with them on a deeper level and to build trust and
Yeah.
rapport.
Yeah.
It's not about manipulation or control.
Right.
It's about genuine connection.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, and I think that's something that Derren Brown, even though he's known for his,
His manipulation.
his mind control tricks,
Yeah.
I think he actually cares about people.
Yeah.
And he wants us to use these insights
To connect with each other.
to connect with each other
Yeah.
in a more meaningful way.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is
Yeah, this is good stuff.
this is great.
Really fascinating.
So I'm really excited to keep going.
Yeah, let's keep exploring.
Yeah. Let's see what else Derren Brown has in store for us.
Yeah. He's full of surprises.
He is full of surprises.
So buckle up.
Buckle up.
It's going to be a wild ride.
It's going to be a wild ride. Stay with us.
Yeah.
It really is.
Right.
It makes you think about the fine line between, using this knowledge for good and using it to manipulate people.
Absolutely.
And it leads us to, I think, a really intriguing topic, which is the paranormal.
Ooh.
Right.
Spooky stuff.
Spooky stuff. So Derren Brown, he approaches this subject with, I think,
A healthy dose of skepticism.
a healthy dose of skepticism. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't completely shut it down.
All right.
He's not like, this is all BS.
Yeah.
But he's like, let's think critically about this.
Let's look at the evidence.
Let's look at the evidence.
Yeah.
And he even recounts an encounter with Derek Akora.
Oh, yeah. The TV medium.
Yeah, who's like a well-known
Yeah, he's pretty famous.
TV medium.
For a while there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really highlights Like how easily
narratives can be spun.
narratives can be spun, yeah.
Especially when it comes to the paranormal.
Especially when it comes to the paranormal.
Yeah. People are so eager to believe.
You want to believe.
Yeah.
Like-
And so they're willing to overlook inconsistencies or lack of evidence.
Red flags.
Yeah. Because they want it to be true.
Yeah.
So badly.
And it reminds us that we should always be,
Cautious with this.
of extraordinary claims.
Of extraordinary claims, yeah.
And look for like concrete evidence
Right.
before we just accept something
Yeah.
at face value.
Right. And this ties into his discussion of cognitive biases.
Oh, yeah. Confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias,
It's
yeah.
a big one.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And how it can lead us astray.
Absolutely.
Like, if we believe in ghosts,
Mhm.
we're more likely to interpret any, like, creak in the house or shadow
Oh, yeah.
as evidence of
It-
their existence.
Even if there's a perfectly rational explanation.
Even if it's just the wind,
Right.
right? Or, like, a leaky faucet. It's like, no, that was a ghost.
That was definitely ghost.
Yeah, it's so easy to fall into that trap.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's not just about ghosts, right?
No, it's everything.
It's how we interpret.
The world around us.
Yeah, it's like we see what we want to see.
Yeah. We filter information through the lens of our existing beliefs.
Yeah, it's like our beliefs are like these, like,
Filters.
get a color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perception.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And we also talked about anchoring.
Oh, yeah.
Right. An anchoring bias.
How if we're, like, exposed to a particular number,
Mhm.
even if it's totally random, it can, like, subconsciously influence
Judgments.
our judgment
And
decisions.
Yeah, it's wild.
Well, that's crazy.
Like if someone tells you a house is 150 years old
Okay.
before you estimate its value, you might like unconsciously anchor your estimate around that number.
Right.
Even if that's not the actual age of the house.
Right, or even a relevant factor
Yeah.
in determining the value.
Right.
Yeah, but our brains are like, okay, 150, that's a big number.
That must mean it's worth a lot.
It must be valuable.
Yeah, it's crazy how like seemingly irrelevant information can sway us.
Yeah,
And that's where critical thinking comes in.
absolutely.
Right.
We got to be aware of these
Uh-huh.
biases.
Mm-hmm.
Question our assumptions.
Yeah.
Consider alternative explanations.
Even if it's like uncomfortable.
Even if it challenges
Yeah.
our deeply held beliefs.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to be willing to be wrong.
You're wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's hard
It is hard.
because we like to be right.
You do.
Yeah, but it's so important for growth, I
Yeah,
think.
it is.
Right?
Yeah.
To be able to say, okay, I was wrong about that.
Let me adjust my thinking.
Let me adjust my thinking. So yeah, he talks about these cognitive biases and how they play into
Oh, yeah. Psychic readings
like,
and stuff.
Psychic readings.
Yeah, he breaks down like cold reading,
Hold.
hot reading,
Mm.
all these like techniques that
Mhm.
psychics use.
Mhm.
And he's like, look, it's not magic.
It's
Yeah,
psychology.
it's psychology.
It's manipulation.
Yeah, it's amazing how
Effective it can be.
effective it can be, though.
He even shares an example of like a psychic reading he created
Oh, yeah.
that was like intentionally vague and generic.
Right.
And people still found it like
Incredibly accurate.
incredibly accurate and personal.
Yeah. It's like we want to believe
We do that.
so badly
It's wild.
that we'll find meaning
Yeah.
even where there is none.
Even in the most like generic statements.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It really is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, it's like we crave that meaning,
We do.
especially when we're like seeking answers or comfort
Mm-hmm.
in the face of uncertainty.
Yeah, when we're feeling lost or scared,
Yeah.
we're more vulnerable to
Yeah.
these kinds of things.
To those manipulations, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's why it's so important to be critical,
absolutely.
to be aware,
Yeah.
to be skeptical.
Healthy skepticism.
Healthy skepticism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Derren Brown's Tricks of the Mind, what are some key takeaways that you hope listeners will like ponder?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that we're all more susceptible
Yeah.
to suggestion and illusion and self-deception
Yeah.
than we realize.
When we think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that awareness
Is empowering.
is empowering. Yeah.
Like once you realize
yeah.
how easily you can be influenced, you can start to take steps to protect yourself.
To protect yourself, yeah.
To be more discerning,
Right.
more critical in your thinking.
Yeah, and ultimately more in control of your own mind.
Exactly.
Right? Like that's the goal.
That's your goal, yeah.
It's like, okay, we've uncovered all these tricks and manipulations.
Yeah.
But now we can use this knowledge for good.
For good, yeah.
Right.
To improve our lives.
To improve our lives, to improve our relationships, to improve
our understanding of the world.
Our understanding of the world, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's a superpower almost.
It is.
If you use it the right way.
If you use it responsibly.
If you use it responsibly.
Yeah.
So we can use this knowledge to improve our memory, read people more accurately, and even like question our own beliefs in a way that's constructive.
Absolutely.
It's about recognizing
the
power of the mind and using that power
responsibly.
For good, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that's a great place to leave it.
Yeah, I think so too.
This has been a really fascinating deep dive.
It has.
So, Derren Brown fans out there,
yeah,
if you haven't checked out Tricks of the Mind, highly recommend
That's a great read.
It's a great read.
Really thought-provoking.
It really is. It'll make you think about the world.
And yourself.
In a whole new way.
Yeah, it's a journey of self-discovery.
It is. It is.
And intellectual growth.
Yeah.
That awaits anyone willing to take that deep dive.
And go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep questioning, keep exploring.
Keep an open mind.
Yeah.
You never know what illusions you might uncover.
Exactly.
Within yourself.
And in the world around you.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This has been great.
This was fun.
It's always a pleasure.
Likewise.
Until next time, keep those minds sharp.
Stay curious.